He's a riddle, wrapped in a mystery, inside an enigma.
Hey there, welcome to another Minute Microscopy. I'm Casey Rochford, and we would love it if you'd like and share this video and subscribe to the channel because you're going to love it. Kitchen sink microscopy is awesome. Anyway, I might be a little biased, but I wanted to talk about a philosophical quandary that I see people having. Maybe it's more of a semantics thing, but let me just posit this idea to you. If somebody walked up to you, planes flying overhead, right? And they looked up and they said, "You see that thing? That plane is floating through the air." And you're like, "Well, no, it's not floating. It's flying through the air." And they turn to you and say, "Do you not believe in planes? Just because you don't think it's floating?" That is a little bit what the white privilege argument is like. Now, people have often asked me, "Do you not believe that white privilege exists?" And that's a lot like asking, "Hey, do you think planes don't exist because they aren't floating?" Well, privilege, white privilege, is probably the wrong word, because a privilege is something that's bestowed upon you by someone else. It can be taken away. You can't take whiteness away. And it's not something that each and every individual has. Now, are there advantages to being white? Absolutely. Are there disadvantages to being a person of color? Absolutely. Is that always a blanket truth for each and every individual white person or person of color? Absolutely not. It's a statistics game. It really depends on where you live. It depends on your socioeconomic status and of those around you. There's a wide variety of factors that play into advantages and disadvantages based on race. And sometimes they're not just based on race. Sometimes they're not based on race at all, but people think they are. Sometimes they're just flat out not based on race. A good example of actual privilege would be blue privilege. Police. They have special rights granted to them by authority when they wear a badge. They can do things that normal citizens can't, and they get away with things that normal citizens can't. Qualified immunity. Look it up. This is an actual example of privilege. And you don't really see people bickering about a blue privilege or a police privilege or anything like that. In fact, you'll have people straight out tell you that that's not a thing, which is out and out ridiculous, because that is like a textbook example of privilege. So it's not to say that I don't believe in white privilege, the phenomenon itself of what it's trying to describe. I don't believe in the word. I believe the word is divisive. It's placing blame on an individual for something that they're completely out of control. You don't choose your race. You're born with it. It's something you can neither be proud of nor should you be ashamed of either. And it's not something that you can actually literally use to help or hurt another person. All of that comes from within. All of that comes from you and your being, your personality, your choices that you make. We all have the power to do good and the power to do bad. It really just comes down to a choice. And by ascribing race to this, we're adding to that divide. We're building the wall taller when we should be tearing it down. That's what I believe. Maybe you believe something different. Maybe you're gonna completely wash over everything I said and instantly call me a racist, because that's what most people do, honestly, which is absolutely silly. But, people aren't always the wisest. Anyway, this is kind of a long one, so sorry about that. I guess that's my white privilege.